Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It is 9 a.m. bright and early here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I got a lot to talk about today, so stick with me. All right. On my community page, I made a video on my other channel. The name of my other channel, it was my first channel. It's called Artist2. Artist, T-W-O, all caps, okay? I am revamping that channel, and I'm going to tell you about that in a second. But concerning this video, it has to do with my monetization and advertising on this channel, and I just couldn't hold my tongue any longer. It has been 2 months, and YouTube was supposed to get back. This whole thing was ridiculous, and on top of that, they were supposed to get back to me, and I'm still sitting here watching my channel be slowly strangled, and I couldn't hold my tongue any longer. All right, so that video is on my community page, and it's not, the original video is on my other channel, Artist TWO. That channel only has like 61 subscribers when I checked this morning. All right, now I'm revamping that channel. I believe this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about current topics. Let's say athletes voicing their opinions in sports. Nancy Pelosi, Tucker Carlson, the death penalty. I'm going to call this or that. No gray area, black or white, up or down, positive or negative. I'll start the video and we'll pick a topic, something in the news today, or maybe not, just some, like I said, maybe the death penalty. And I'll go over both sides of it, and I'll voice my opinion, what this channel, my opinion, and you could leave your this or that, for or against, no gray areas. That'll kind of streamline it, and just want to see how it goes. This or that. I'm working on getting the banner. I think it's going to be a black and white banner with the heads and tails on it, and that's going to be my idea for their channel. It's just dealing with current topics, for or against, this or that. All right, now on to today's video. I want to talk about Andrew Brown Jr. I haven't talked about him yet. I went through so many different things in my 20 years of substance abuse, hard substance abuse. From 1986 to 2006, I have not used anything. I've been completely clean and sober since October 23rd of 2006. When I make these videos, let me be clear on this too. When I make these videos, so many people, there's a huge problem with substance abuse. I think 1 in 4 Americans has a substance abuse problem, if I'm not mistaken. People that are watching this, family members, I do it to emphasize that using these substances or having anything to do with these substances will lead to a path of destruction, fear, terror, and paranoia. I do these videos so that anybody watching knows better than to mess around with this stuff. Or more than that, if there's somebody using in the family, that they can spot it right away. Because one thing that addicts do is lie. If you confront an addict, they're going to deny it. Even though if they want to stop, they're still going to deny it because it's terrifying, the thought of not having your substance anymore. So I make these videos never to glorify. It's just to help and to give you guys a window into what the reality of this really is. Because most of you probably don't know the nitty-gritty, the dirty reality. This isn't partying. This isn't a good time. This isn't fun. This is a horrific, terror-filled, 24/7 paranoia, waking nightmare. No BS there. All right, Andrew Brown Jr. Let me just say this first. This did not have to happen. This did not have to happen. They knew this guy. They had an undercover confidential CI, confidential informant. More than likely, they had made buys. More than likely, they already had, they exchanged money, marked money and everything. They had evidence on this guy. I don't know that for sure, but more than likely, I know they had a CI working there. They could have just waited and charged this guy after when he took off. I'm going to talk about this. The big danger in when you confront a person like this. And I just remembered this morning. Like I said, this happened to me on a daily basis, and it's sometimes it takes me a while to even remember. Oh my God, that happened to me. All right. And I want to point out too, from everything the police have said, this car was not endangering them. It was driving away from them. He was trying to get away. His hands were on the steering wheel. The police have never said that they were in any danger from getting hit by the car. So let's take that off the table. Now there was four shots to the arm and one to the back of the head. The car went forward to hit a tree. That means that the police were behind him. He was driving away from them. Got hit, lost control, and hit the tree. There was no need for this to happen. They could have just waited and arrested him later with extra charges. And that would have just solidified their case. Even if he had something in the car that he dumped, which is probably one of the main things that dealers do. And I'm going to get to that in a second. They should have had a case already to get the warrant. They couldn't have gotten a warrant if they didn't have a hell of a lot of solid evidence already. So if they had that solid evidence, they didn't need to stop him right there and then. There was no need to execute Andrew Brown Jr. All right, let me talk about when this happened to me. This was in the later days of my using. It was probably sometime around 2004. For this video, I'm going to call the substance hard. I'm going to call it hard, as in hard rock. You know what I'm talking about. All right, and this is one of the substances I was addicted to. I would regularly meet this dealer. Let me fill you in on dealers now. All the people I know and used to know, all the people I used to know that dealt. Let me take this off the table. None of them would ever deal to kids. This is something I've heard people say lately. Well, what if he went and dealt to kids? Personally, all the dealers, I'm not sticking up for them. I'm just telling you what I know. It was bad business. It was bad business to ever deal with anybody under 20, really, because they can't keep their mouths shut. It was bad business. All the people that I knew and was associated with, even if they knew somebody else was doing this, they would cut them off. I don't know if this happens in other states. I don't know if it's, but in the circles that I was in, it was a big no-no. It was a big sure way to get hurt or worse at dealing with kids with these substances. It was a big X on that. There was plenty of overage, older people with good paying jobs just willing to hand over their whole paycheck as soon as they got paid for this. So there was no need to go to some 16, 15-year-old. That was ridiculous. It was bad business. I'm not sticking up for anybody. I just want you guys to know the truth. All right. This one day, I was going to meet this dealer in the parking lot of a pharmacy chain, a busy pharmacy chain in the afternoon. I pulled up. I waited for him. I saw the car pull up in the middle of the parking lot. People are going in and out of the store. And I go over to the car. I'm leaning in the passenger side window. His car is still running. I have the substance in my hand. I give the money. Right then, I see a car. There's a grocery store across the road, busy grocery store. And I see a car coming right towards us. Now, I smiled. I figured it was probably somebody I knew coming to do the same thing, to purchase something, probably somebody I knew. So I smiled. 4 guys in the car, and it sped up fast. And then it skidded to a stop, so got my attention. All the doors opened up. It was an undercover bust. They had been watching this place. They knew this dealer that I was dealing with. Somebody in the parking lot obviously saw this happening constantly. The person I was dealing with drops the car as the police are running right at us at the front of the car. The dealer drops it into drive and nails the gas, going right for the officers. I'm still leaning in the window. The substance I just drop into the car as he drives off and takes it all with him. So I didn't have anything. It was just instinct. 2 of the officers jumped back into the car, screeching. How nobody got hurt in this, I don't know. 2 of the officers rushed at me and put me in a felony spread eagle in the parking lot. They proceeded to chase the dealer out of the parking lot. They didn't find him. He got away. It turns out he lived right on the other side. There's a fence between the back of the pharmacy, and he lives right in a condo right on the other side of the fence. And they still couldn't get him. But it didn't matter because they knew his name and they had evidence against him, and they did catch him later. They took me in. I had nothing on me. They charged me with attempt to possess. Possible 7 years, but there was nothing on me. There was no evidence. And I told them that. And I didn't talk. And the charges just got dropped when I went to court. Funny thing, the prosecutor actually lied in court and said, he said there was money and drugs recovered. And at the end of when he finished talking, I put my hand up. And the judge said, yeah, if you have something to say. And I said, yeah. I said, there was nothing recovered. No money, no drugs. And the judge asked the prosecutor, is that true? Oh, excuse me a second, Judge. You read it over. Yes, I misspoke. That is true. There was no drugs or money recovered. Oh, well, case got dropped. Now, here's another thing. That same guy, that same dealer, I saw him in the paper not even a year ago. This is 15 years later, and he's still at it. These guys, these people that do this, they don't do the substances themselves. They don't use their own product. But they are just as addicted to that money and that life, the power. The power is unbelievable. Like I said, they have people calling them on payday with their entire paycheck, begging them to come and take their money, take their possessions, take my new car and use it. Just give me what I need. I swear to God, this happens hundreds of times, thousands of times just around here. I've seen it happen. So anyway, this is an instance, and I was so terrified as they made me drop into the felony position when this happened. I don't think they had their guns drawn. These officers that were all around me, the two that came at me and then the two that jumped back in the car, if they had opened up and they were in danger of being hit by this guy. Because if I remember right, he was doing donuts around me. I thought he was going to hit my car on the way out and run over somebody. There was pedestrians and people everywhere. And this, let me tell you this too, these guys, these dealers will do anything to get away. That's a fact. Because if they can get anything they have out of their possession, just bam, on the ground, that's a big part of the case right there. That goes to court. If it's not in your possession, and you have a good lawyer, everything goes away. These guys will not stop. And the police should know this by now. Which begs the question, why didn't they park behind Andrew Brown Jr.'s car so that he couldn't drive off? They should, I assume they know this by now. I don't know, maybe I'm misspeaking here myself. Maybe I don't know the logistics and maybe it wasn't possible. How, I don't know, but maybe it wasn't possible. If they had blocked his car in, knowing that this 99.9% of the time, these guys are going to run, it would have prevented this whole thing. Andrew Brown Jr. did not have, this didn't have to happen. There was no reason this had to happen. He was executed. That's it. Whether it was over race, I can't put myself in the heads of the officers. A lot of times, I believe that officers do treat people of color differently. Somehow they see them as more dangerous, and I think they're more likely to do this. Just my opinion. All right, those are some thoughts for today. You guys have a good Wednesday. I'll be back later with another video.